Okay.
Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Danny from Free Speech TV. Today we're here with Basima, and we're gonna talk about what is it like being a follower of Islam as a woman in Philadelphia. And I'm gonna allow her to introduce herself to you guys.
Hi, like you said, my name is Basima. My name actually means smiling. I've been Muslim since 2009, and I live right here in the Philadelphia area. And yeah, no, I'm just ready to, answer some questions, and so we can get more into it. Who I
Okay,
am, actually.
okay, that's good. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Philadelphia
Okay,
originally.
Philadelphia.
Yep.
Okay, born and
hmm
raised.
Yep.
Okay, okay,
I have lived in different states and stuff, but I always came back home.
okay. Um, were you always a follower of Islam or no?
No, I actually come from a Christian family. I used to go to church and everything when I was younger. My grandma was a pastor. So yeah, no, I wasn't always Muslim, no.
Okay. So why did you choose Islam and not another religion?
For Islam, for me, Islam kind of like just dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. So with me already being a Christian, I already had an understanding of like God, and that there was a God that exists, that there was a devil that exists, a heaven and a hell. So I already had basic understandings. Where I was confused was that who Jesus was, because when I used to go to church, I used to read things about Jesus praying and things like that, and it just used to make my mind wonder, like, well, who is he praying to if they telling me that this is God? Just certain things didn't make sense to me and used to make my mind wonder. So I was introduced to Islam through my older sister, and she gave me a better understanding. So it just gave me a better understanding. So I feel like, how you watch a season of shows, but if you don't see the last season, you don't really know how
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
ended. So I feel like I went through my seasons, and then just Islam just was like that last season for me.
Got you. That's good clarification. Do you face like Islamophobia like in Philly at all or no?
In Philly, no, because this is
Okay.
a heavy populated Muslim city. No, but I have faced it like when I travel and things like that.
Okay, when you travel,
Yeah.
would you like to share about that or no? You don't feel comfortable?
Um, I just get weird looks, people looking at me, people staring at me, because they don't know, they don't and they only can go off of what they hear on TV and hear about other Muslims and things like that. So yeah, I guess I get stared at, and things like this. And I already know what it is. When I go to the airport, you know, I'm automatically stereotype, things like
Yeah.
that. So I'm used to it by now.
Okay, got you. Okay. Check. Okay, and where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Are you pertaining to like specifically
Uh,
like what's going?
like
Yeah.
uh, like you can talk about work or your faith, like just
Okay.
anything.
Okay, so about 5 years from now. So right now I am a personal trainer. I train only women. Not just Muslim women. I just tend to attract a lot of Muslim women because I am a Muslim woman. But I train women, and right now I'm starting a movement called Heal Through Health and Fitness. So in 5 years, I would really like to be traveling and working with women to because I'm going to go back to school for psychology and sociology, so that way I can add like kind of life coaching and counseling into my fitness training. So within the next 5 years, I really would like to have finished school and be counseling women and help and really getting the message out there to for women to use fitness as a tool for healing. So that's what I would like to be in 5 years.
That's good. It's never too late to go to school. Yeah, I know people that's
Yeah,
50 years old and they're in school right now. So
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Are any of your family members Muslim? You talk about your sister. Is anyone else, or is just her?
My so I do all of my sisters are Muslim, and my mother, she converted about 2 years after I did. So yeah.
Okay. Um, would you call yourself like a liberal Muslim or more like a conservative type of Muslim?
When you asked me that question, I forgot to actually go see like what is liberal. Can you just tell me what you
Liberal
mean by that?
is like more relaxed, is like more like free, and conservative is like more strict and like
Hmm.
yeah, like you follow instruction by instruction. Like you can think of it
Okay.
like Democrat and
I know
Republican.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was you know what? It's been phases for me where when I first began, it was more liberal. Then I came in a phase where I used to wear the whole, face covering, and I wouldn't let men see my face. And um, you know, I was more conservative on a strict, rule by rule. And then over time, I kind of got more like, liberal, just kind of lax with it because having daughters, trying to raise daughters in Islam, it just kind of made me just find a balance and where, because I had to be mindful to the fact that I didn't grow up Muslim, so I got to do things and, and they're feeling like, mom, like, like, dang, like, and I had to be mindful of that. So I had to kind of step away from trying to be so strict and just understand, like, I once was these little girls. Now, I want them to be able to stay Muslim, but I want them to love Islam. I don't want them to hate it. So it kind of made me just kind of relax and find just a balance that works for us.
That's good. That's good to hear that. I like that explanation. Um,
Yeah.
and you said earlier it was your sister that converted you to Islam, right?
She introduced
Or she
me to
introduced you
it.
to, okay.
Yeah, she
So
definitely introduced.
would you say that's what converted you or no?
No, it wasn't what converted me. Because at that time she introduced me, I was only 13. And even though like I was scared because like I said, I come from a heavy Christian family. My grandma was a pastor, so I was like, no, grandma was going, she gonna be mad. I was more so worried about, my reaction. But I didn't actually take my shahada, um, which is the testimony of faith. That's what you do to become Muslim. Um, I didn't take it till 10 years later. And what actually got me, I was lost. I had just I just went through a really bad breakup and I found myself in clubs and bars and just living a life that I never didn't even know of. And I felt lost. And I was like, I'm gonna start going back to church, but I would never go back to church. And like it was crazy because a lot of guys like that was trying to talk to me around the time, they were Muslim. And I was just like, I took it as a sign, like, let me go see like what is this about again, because I remember back when I was 13, I really wanted to do it, but I was scared. But it made so that's what actually, and I just got up one day and I went down West Philly and went to the Islamic stores and picked up a book, and I started reading one book, and like halfway through the book, I took my weave out, took my nails off, and I told my sister like I'm ready to take my shahada.
Good. That's interesting. Interesting story. Do you hang out with other followers of Islam in Philly, in the Philly community, or no?
Mostly all my friends
Okay.
are Muslim. It's not it just happened that way. But I'm a person, I like good character. I don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, I don't care what you, as long as you're not, we don't have to push each other's beliefs on each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um
Barbarian.
but yeah, but it just so happened that just about everybody I surround myself with are Muslim.
Okay, that's good to hear that. That's great
Yeah.
answer. Um, is there like any special customs that you follow at home or no?
Yeah, yeah. So, Islam is a whole way of life, So, yes. So, like, I have adopted the coming in the house and taking off my shoes. I even do it when I go over other people's house. I'm always taking off my shoes. Um, yeah, we have a way that we wash. We have a way that we eat. We so supposed to only eat with our right hands. I'm trying to think. The dress is a custom that but you specifically talk about in the home. So one thing that just really come to mind when you ask that question is like, yeah, removing the shoes. Like that's something like now I'm really on that now. Like, take off your shoes. Which it makes sense because shoes walk
Yeah.
over everything,
Right.
So I just don't even feel like it should just be a Muslim thing. It's like that saying cleanliness is next to godliness is very true.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, I heard that a lot
Yeah,
too growing up. Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, how has Islam affected your dating life?
Mm. um, it's pros and cons to everything.
Right.
So I feel like one of the pros was that when people address me, they have a lot more respect when they address me as opposed to when I used to walk the streets and I used to have on just about anything and a more revealing clothes and I used to get all the big yo show all that kind of stuff. Um However, like one of the cons are that it could be looked at as a pro and a con, like people just take you very serious, yeah, so which I guess like I said, it's a pro and a con because you do want people to take it serious, but sometimes it's like, okay, people are taking it like too serious. Like where, it's intimidating sometimes to guys. So that's what I feel like. And in this land we don't really like freely, like we're not supposed to just be like freely just dating. We're supposed to be talking to someone with the intent of getting married.
Oh, okay, got it.
And it's a way to
Some more like courting.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
got you. Understand. Okay.
yeah.
Um, how many times a day do you pray?
5,
Okay,
at least
okay.
5, yeah. So we got 5 obligatory prayers that we pray.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, and then is it like a mat? Because I seen I had someone at my job, they was Muslim as well. When they pray, they lay down like a mat, like a cloth. Yeah. Um, have you ever done that before or
Like a prayer, yeah.
yeah, I don't know
I
what it's
do
called.
have a prayer rug. When actually I have a yeah, I take a I travel with a prayer rug. I don't pray with it in the house because like I said, no one walks over my rugs and everything. So the purpose of it is to wherever you pray it needs to be clean.
Okay,
So that's why you should always just have something clean to prostrate your head on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, understand. Um, do you
So
still hang
yeah, I do use
around? What was
one.
that?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Do you still hang around the same amount of friends since converting or no?
I would say no.
Okay.
Because like I said, like it can be intimidating even for people like other women and stuff if they see you trying to change and you trying to do something different. It's just honestly just not going to really work out. Like if I'm trying to stay out of the bars and the clubs and just do something different with my life, but that person they at in their journey where they at wherever they're at, we can't force each lifestyle on each other. So yeah, no, like so I had to leave some people behind, but in the same sense I have gained other friends as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Like people are in your life for a reason, and like sometimes people are gonna leave because like I always say you are who you hang out with. So if you want to be a certain type of individual, you're gonna have to you're gonna hang out with different type of people, and then eventually that's just who you are. Like
Right, exactly.
yeah, like the same people usually say guilty by association, things like that.
Exactly. And that's something that we believe heavily in Islam, that you are the company that you keep. So it's just a known fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Um. I was looking online on, I want to know if you know this. Did you know Philly has a big Islam population?
Yeah, absolutely. I hear a lot of people. I spoke with a lot of women from like New York who in other parts of like right here in the tri-state area, like Delaware and everything, that they say they moved to Philly because of the population of Muslims that
Mm.
are here. Yeah, so yes, I know that.
Yeah, it's about 10 to 15% of the total population of Philly is Muslim. Yeah,
Wow. I
yeah,
didn't even know it was up there. I didn't know that it was up that high, but that's good.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm not shocked by those numbers though.
yeah. Yeah, they call it the Mecca of the West. So yeah, that's another name to call it. Is there like any foods that you do not eat slash you cannot eat due to your beliefs?
Yes. Muslims, just like Jews and Christians, because it says it in all of the books, in all of the holy books, to stay away from the flesh of the swine, so pork.
Okay,
That's I mean, yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and pork is like a red meat. Too much red meat, it can lead to like cancer, like colon cancer, things like that in nature.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like when you know these things, it'd be like, okay, this is why God told us to stay away from this, because how many people eat pork and now they suffering from all kinds of diseases and stuff.
Right, right. Like Chadwick Boseman, the actor who played Black Panther, he died from colon cancer.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, do you feel like you fit the stereotype of a Muslim look, like the look, or no?
Um, I do. Um, I do, yeah, because when I go outside, it's definitely noticeable that I am a Muslim. So yeah, I like to be identified as a Muslim woman. So yes, I would say yes.
Um, do you consider yourself religious or spiritual?
I seen that question. I was like, oh, that's a good question. Um, so I remember at one point I would have said that I can remember being more religious, because here's the thing, how I feel about religion is that it's a set of rules and regulations, and people all come in beliefs that people all come together to follow with no real connection to it. I feel like it's just that, okay, I'm just gonna follow these and try to make my life look a certain way. And I found myself in that. But now I would say over the last past 3 years, I have been more spiritual, where I'm more so focused on my connection with the creator. And it actually made me just feel more authentic in my religion, just know, in Islam, because I feel like religion puts a lot of pressure on you to try to where you can't, where there's no room for error. And that's not Islam. You know what I'm saying? And people and the things that we and the pressure that we put on ourselves will make us feel like there's no room for error. And I'm just like, but when you read the books and the people that were before us, these people were not perfect. It talked about their flaws and everything. So I feel like I'm more on the spiritual side now, where I have to notice that I'm never going to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. God didn't create anybody to be perfect. And just really developing and keeping my spiritual connection in my relationship with the Creator, and that's became my main focus, and not really trying to just basically put myself in a box, like, okay, these are all the rules and stuff. Now stick to that. You know, and yeah, so I would say that I'm more spiritual now.
Hey, that's good. That's good because I talk to people that have different beliefs in different religion, and yeah, some people are religious and some people are spiritual. And for the most part, people said religion is like rules and spirituality is like a lifestyle. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Um, did Islam change your life for the better or no? Like, are you a whole new person now or no?
Oh, it absolutely changed my life for the better, or I wouldn't have been Muslim for ooh, I'm coming up on I think 13 years. It's the best decision I ever made in my life. It gave me understanding about life, about what was going on prior to us, prior to mankind. It gave me understanding about what's going to take place um after we leave here, after we leave this earth, from the moment the soul is taken from the body, in the process. So it gave me just a lot of understanding about life itself. So just knowing that and keeping it in the back of my mind, like, you're not going to be here forever. um it made me just want to wake up every day and just strive to be just a better person, make sure I'm being kind, doing acts of kindness, and things like that, making sure that I'm good in my character, the way I talk to people, the way I handle people. So the way I treat my mother, because just like the Bible, like, you know says, I can't, I forgot the Bible.
Yeah, honor your parents so that your days may be longer. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, the Quran, Allah gave the high status to the mother, so it just made me always just be mindful to be, very dutiful, and kind and to my mother. So Islam definitely just, I was never like a really bad person but Islam just took what was already in me and the characteristics that I already had and just made me better.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. Uh, what do you want the world to know about being a Muslim woman in Philly?
Whew. um, Even though, what would I want the world to know? Like, even though Philly has a huge population of Muslims, it's still not easy being a Muslim woman in Philly. We still, just being a Muslim woman, like here, where we're not in a country where it's all Muslims. In other countries they have the prayer, the call to the prayer go off like all over. So they're shutting down stores and doing everything. So everybody is like on one accord, basically. So it makes it easy to be Muslim when everybody's doing the same thing. Here, right here in Philly, it's not that, you always feel like it's number one, it's just, I just feel like it's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves as Muslim right here in our own community, a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves to be a certain way, you know, and not only that pressure, then we have the other pressure of like just having to be around other women and other things that's not really conducive to what we believe. So it can be challenging. It could be really challenging at times. However, because the Muslim population is so big, that it does just shed some light on the challenges, because I've been to other places where it's not a lot of Muslims, and that, so I couldn't even imagine even being in those spaces. So it's like I said, it's pros and cons to everything. But what I would like the world to know is that it's not easy. It's not always easy.
That's true. Life isn't easy. Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Was anybody mad that you converted to Islam or no?
Um, was anybody mad? The funny part is that I remember telling my cousin that I
Mhm.
was gonna oh yeah, I forgot my cousin. That I was gonna convert to Islam, and she was like, "Phew, girl, that's the devil." But
Mhm.
how about she been a Muslim, she converted not too long after me because she got some understanding, and she converted. And so now when I bring up that story to her, she be like, "Oh, shut up, girl, stop telling everybody that." And my biggest worry came from my mother, because like I said, she converted about 2 years after me. But I knew I had to do what I felt was right for me. But surprisingly, she wasn't mad. My mom was very, very mad supportive. Yeah, and she just wanted, it just made her very inquisitive, and she wanted to learn. Now she was like, and she tell the story now, like, she had no plans on becoming Muslim, like, but her just asking questions and everything just it helped brought some understanding. Yeah. So yeah. Anybody else? Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, can you name any struggles of being a Muslim woman in Philly?
Um, yeah, like I was just saying, just, just wanting to, because women, we like to be beautiful, and um, when we live in a society where they're constantly programming us on what beauty is, you don't see a lot of Muslim women up there. You don't see a lot of women up there, that they're saying like, this is what you call beauty or whatever. So when they're constantly programming our us. They're constantly programming our daughters. They're constantly programming the men. So one of the struggles is that we want the men, the Muslim men, to be attracted to us how we are, but if they're constantly going out and, men, I know men are visual creatures. They're going outside every day and they're seeing women that's unclothed. I know that's challenging for them. What makes it challenging for us. So that's one of the challenges. And just having daughters, like I said, just knowing that you have to find a balance, and everybody balance is going to look different. But I know that was a struggle for me because I found this new way of life and I feel like it's right. I wanted to try to just force these things on my daughter to the point where it was starting her like back up. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going about this wrong. And I see a lot of people do that, and that's in all religions, and yeah, like people try to force these things down. Mind you, we are supposed to teach our children, but we have to remember that everybody has their own path, and so one of the challenges that I had faced or struggles was, just trying to keep my daughters, on, the straight path and making sure they have guidance and things like that. And because of the population is so big, they do, so it's not a struggle really anymore. Like I would say, like finding things for us to do, because we will all come together as Muslim women and find some things to do. But it was a struggle at first from me coming from the clubs and the bars and things like that. I'm like, okay, now what am I supposed to do with my life now? Like, but what it did was open my eyes to other things. Like, because I feel like people think because we Muslim, like we can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? And like, no, I work out. I'm very adventurous. Like, so just me having to leave off them old ways, it helped me just turn to actually just exploring and being open to experience other things. So yeah, I would say that was my biggest struggles.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with you. Yes, programming with social media, things like that, that does happen a
Hmm.
lot. And with minorities, is not a lot of representation. So yeah, I agree with that also. Um,
Right.
have you learned anything new as being a follower of Islam?
Um, anything new? No, no, no. Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot of new things pertaining to the religion itself, like being able to just give everybody their proper place. So as Muslims, we don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. We believe that Jesus is a prophet, was sent as a prophet and a messenger of God, along with the other messengers. So that was like one of the biggest. We don't believe in the story of the cross, of Jesus dying on the cross. We believe that same way God, the creator, he gave Jesus a chance to come here and live his life. We believe that everybody knows right from wrong. And on the day of judgment, everybody is going to be accounted for their own things. We don't believe that someone else is going to be standing up there and or we don't believe that someone else died for our sins, that we know better. So that was one, that was like my biggest take back of just knowing like, oh, like you better, you held accountable for your own stuff. No one has died for you, you know. You know, so when you die and it's time for you to go back and, you know, and see God, and you're gonna have to face him, yeah, you're gonna have to bring all your ish with you. So yeah.
How has being a follower of Islam affected you at the workplace?
Fortunately, I work at a job. I work in mental health, and that's one of the reasons why I even been at my job so long, because I have the freedom to dress, I have the freedom to pray, I have the freedom to fast, and no one bothers me, because I have heard a lot from a lot of women that they face a lot of discrimination. Somebody I know just sued their job, and they won like 180 something $1,000 because of discrimination in the job, you know. People making you feel like because you have your head covered or something, or people, or, you know, just people making you feel like you're terrorists or things like that, like, you know. But not for me, not for me. Fortunately, I have been blessed with a job where I can practice my way of life freely, so I'm one of the fortunate ones.
All right, that's good to hear. Good to hear. Do you have like a ladies' night with your Islam girlfriends, or is it a mix of friends, or you don't do girls' night?
Oh yeah, I absolutely do girls' night. Yes, we need girls' night. Sometimes we do girls' night where we like doing Islamic trivia and things like that. And sometimes we do girls' night where we're just letting our hair down. We're in here talking, we making, you know, and just we see, because a lot of people think it's confused. Like we're Muslim, but like when, like we're women, we still want to be sexy. We go to pole dancing classes, but we just make sure that we ask the people, like, is this going to be private, you know, because we would like to come out our garbs and stuff like that. So I know me and my girls, we still do things, you know, because yes, we are Muslim, and we try to remember that first, but we're not only Muslim, you know, we're women. You know, so yeah, so we definitely do our girls' nights, our own what we call our own turn up.
Good to hear that. Yeah, that's it for the questions. Do you have any questions for me, or yeah?
Yes, can you just tell me a little bit about Free Speech TV and how, like, what motivated you to get into this?
Yeah, for Free Speech TV, I basically made it as a form of media because I don't like the current media, like your CNNs, your BBCs. I feel like it's one-sided,
Right.
more geared towards Western society. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to create my own media, my own narrative. So I said, okay, how can I do this? And I started thinking, writing down ideas. I was thinking about a newspaper. I was thinking about like some type of broadcasting. So I was like, all right, I can do the newspaper later. Let me start with broadcasting, YouTube, and then I just started researching and Googling, and then I was like, interviews, that's good. Let me share people's stories.
Right.
But it's gonna blow up because everybody wants to know how other people are doing and what's it
Right.
like.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
seen the one what you did with the homeless man. That was good. That was a good interview.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to interview everybody from every type of life imaginable. So yeah,
Okay. Nice. Well, I appreciate being a guest. You know, anytime you want me back, just let me know.
yeah. I will. And shout out to Lena for making this happen.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the one who
Yes.
brought us together. So shout out to her. Yeah.
Definitely. Please let me know. Or send it to me. Share it with me when you upload
Yeah,
it
yeah,
on.
I'll do that. And if you have like Facebook or anything you want people to follow you, we can link that down if you like.
Okay. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So what is it so I can write that down, or let me,
Okay. My
can you
Instagram.
write in the chat or no?
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I
write
sure
that, and
can.
then once this video is done recording, then I'll post it underneath my YouTube thing in the comments, and people can reach out to you.
Okay.
Okay, IG. Okay, Facebook. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Like, yeah. I
Yes.
appreciate
Anytime
it.
you want to interview me about like more, so I could get more like about the fitness and what I'm doing on that side, let me know.
Yeah,
'Cause I would like to share that too.
yeah. I sure to reach out to you again and see how the progress and how's everything's going. Yeah,
Okay.
make that happen.
Nice meeting you, Daniel.
Yeah, nice meeting you too, Basima, right?
Yes.
Yeah, nice meeting you. Yep.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.